Hello and welcome back to An Old Man Watches, where today I'm going to be talking about the 1998 animated musical fantasy film Quest for Camelot, which was released internationally as The Magic Sword Quest for Camelot. And we start the film by meeting Sir Lionel, a knight of the Round Table, as well as his wife Juliana and his young daughter Kaylee. Kaylee hero worships her father, which makes it particularly crushing for the young girl when Lionel is killed by the wicked Lord Ruber after foiling that villain's attempted assassination of King Arthur. 10 years go by, and Kaylee has grown into a headstrong young woman who still hero worships her dead father. She is determined to live up to his memory by becoming a Knight of the Round Table herself. Kaylee will soon get her chance because Lord Ruber has a plan to overthrow King Arthur and conquer the kingdom. His pet griffin steals Excalibur, the symbol of Arthur's right to rule. Ruber's plan, once he has the sword, is to threaten Kaylee's life in order to force her mother, Juliana, to help him and his troops infiltrate Camelot, where he will kill the king. Since Ruber's troops are armoured automatons created by magically blending men and, for some reason, a chicken with weapons, it seems this plan has a good chance to succeed. There's just one hiccup. While flying north with Excalibur, the griffin was attacked by a falcon with silver wings, and in the ensuing dogfight, it dropped the sword into the depths of the wild and dangerous Forbidden Forest. Kaylee manages to escape from Ruber's men and, having overheard what happened to Excalibur, races to the Forbidden Forest. There, she plans to find the sword and take it back to King Arthur. Now, for his part, of course, Ruber can't allow this to happen, so, along with his griffin and some of his troops, including, for some reason, the chicken, he sets off in hot pursuit. Fortunately, Kaylee managed to find a lot of help in her quest, which helps balance the scales against Ruber. First, she meets and befriends a blind but dashingly handsome hermit named Gareth, and later the pair are joined by a bumbling but well-meaning two-headed dragon named Devon and Cornwall. Can this spirited young woman and her newfound friends find a way to survive the Forbidden Forest, recover Excalibur, and save the day? So this is not a Disney movie, though it seems like it really wants to be. It is instead a release from Warner Brothers Feature Animation. Like several other studios, Warner's moved into feature animation in the wake of The Lion King's near-billion-dollar box office. Also, like several other studios, Warner's found it hard to achieve the same kind of commercial success as Disney. Their first release, the blended live-action and animation film Space Jam, did pretty well, but their second, 1997's Cats Don't Dance, was a financial flop despite garnering some good reviews. That theme would continue with their 1999 release, The Iron Giant, which is, in my opinion, one of the best animated films of any era, but which failed to find an audience at the box office. In between those two deserved to be more successful than there were offerings came this movie, which, alas, deserved its pretty mild box office performance all too much. It's not that Quest for Camelot is a bad or terrible movie. Honestly, it would be more memorable if it was. The problem is that it seems to be very consciously and slavishly imitating the Disney formula, interweaving intense emotional moments with scenes of whimsy and humour, leavened with visually impressive set pieces and some memorable and catchy songs, but it flubs the execution. Not dramatically so. There's no so dazzlingly ill-conceived sequence as you'd see in 2019's Cats, for instance, but it definitely gets them all wrong enough that the film as a whole underwhelms. So let's talk about how exactly it does go wrong. First off, the film's blend of tones, including both goofy humour and traumatic menace, misses the mark. The best Disney films do a great job of blending these seemingly incompatible ingredients. Consider The Lion King or Frozen, both of which have genuinely emotionally distressing moments, but also kooky sidekick characters who exist pretty much entirely to set up jokes. I think that the reason this works in those movies is that the filmmakers give space for each of those elements to exist independently. We're given some time to feel the emotions that come from the traumatic scenes before the film gives us a fart joke or another light-hearted moment. Quest for Camelot never has the courage to let the darker moments linger. For instance, after Sir Lionel is killed, we get a nicely executed scene where the knights bring his body back home to his wife and child. But then the film immediately segues into an upbeat song about how Kaylee's memories of her father inspire her to be awesome at all kinds of things. And then there are the multiple scenes where Lord Ruber seems about to kill the heroes, only for egregiously good luck to save them. I don't mind an occasional lucky break for our heroes, but the movie gives them a lot, and it does really feel contrived. Second, there's the film's animation, which frankly is uneven in its quality and execution. There are some scenes where the film is obviously reaching for something impressive, such as the Dragonbone Bridge and the massive ogre, which is the one bit of obvious CGI in the movie, but these are pretty rare. Most of the animation is considerably less ambitious, and some of it feels like it's barely making the minimum effort. In particular, there are significant swathes of time where the film shows very limited use of lighting and shadow, creating drab, flat visuals. This is jarring when compared to the scenes that do feature lighting and shadow. They look at times almost like they're from two different movies. Also, I feel like the film's sense of visual perspective is uneven. I'm not sure if this is a cause of the film looking flat and drab or a symptom of it, but in either case, there are moments where the characters don't feel properly integrated with their environments, almost just floating across the top of background art. Third, we have the music. The songs are all competently executed, but one reviewer described them as treacly, and I think that's pretty fair. There are basically 7 songs, of which only 2 stand out as being notably different from the rest. These are Lord Ruber's bombastic number as he monologues his evil plan in song, and the comedy-themed If I Didn't Have You, in which Cornwall and Devon each laments being stuck in the same body with the other. The other 5 songs, though, are just bland. And the most bland of all is the big romantic number, Looking Through Your Eyes, in which Kaylee and Gareth acknowledge that, as the only 2 human characters spending any time on screen together, they are contractually obligated to fall in love, even though Gareth spends most of the movie telling Kaylee that he wants her to go away. Now, I want to be clear, because I've been pretty negative in this video, so I'll reiterate. I'm describing why Quest for Camelot is ultimately mediocre rather than good. This isn't a terrible movie by any stretch. It's just a very pedestrian one. Next time, the adventures of an intrepid two-fisted archaeologist who wears a fedora. No, not that Indiana Jones guy. I'm talking about Jack Hunter. But that is next time. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you've seen The Quest for Camelot, let me know what you thought of it.